Genius is a flower of great rarity that grows in the most unlikely places. Recognition of genius is an accolade that usually becomes a posthumous award. Certainly, this is true of the man called simply O.Henry, master of the tale with a twist, and one of the greatest storytellers of all time. The O.Henry Playhouse, dramatizing some of the most diverting stories ever told.
I must say he impressed me at once. And why not? He had an air of being familiar with hemispheres and worlds, and of entering London as the lord of a domain who visited it after years of absence. He was the ugliest man I had ever seen. When he sat down beside me and began to talk, I perceived in him a certain power. His voice was a persuasive instrument upon which he played with a somewhat specious but effective art. He didn't try to make you forget his ugliness. He flaunted it in your face and made it part of the charm of his remarkable speech. I shall call the man Judson Tate, and the story, The Ugliest Man in England.
I repeat, sir, women are mysterious creatures.
Oh, come, Mr. Tate, I expected better of you, even on such short acquaintance.
Have another drink.
Women are mysterious? That time-worn, bold, feeble, patent sophistry originated by women, spread by women, ingeniously promulgated into the ears of mankind by women for the sole purpose of augmenting, furthering, and reinforcing their own charms and designs. I don't mind if I do.
Good. I hope to substantiate my viewpoint and allay your disappointment. Tell me, have you ever heard of San Christos?
San Christos?
Cheers.
Oh, yes, cheers.
San Christos is a town in Spain. It was in San Christos that a great life drama was played, with Judson Tate, the ugliest man in England, and Fergus MacMahon, the handsomest adventurer in history or fiction, and Senorita Annabella Zamora, the beautiful daughter of the Alcalde of San Christos, as chief actors.
Fascinating. You have secured my interest, Mr. Tate.
I am gratified to hear it.
Another drink?
I don't mind if I do. Now, sir, as you observe, I am about the ugliest man you ever saw outside of the gallery of photographs of Neanderthal man.
Oh, come, sir.
I insist, sir. Cheers.
Oh, yes, cheers.
Now, you wouldn't think women would fancy a man with a face like mine, would you?
Oh, my dear Mr. Tate, history is bright and fiction dull with homely men who have charmed women.
Forgive me, you have yet to hear my story.
Oh, forgive me. I'm all attention. The fact is, I'm always interested in psychological studies. A woman's heart...
Fergus and I were in San Christos together on a holiday. Now, for a handsome man, I'll admit Fergus was the duty-free merchandise. They said he was a ringer for the statue of Hermes, the god of speech and eloquence. But Fergus was no talker. He was brought up with the idea that to be beautiful was to make good. His conversation was about as edifying as a leek dropping into a tin dish at the head of the bed when you want to go to sleep. Yet we were friends. Opposites, do you think?
Oh, yes, possibly.
Yes.
Now, I think...
Looking at the caricature I call my face seemed to give Fergus pleasure. And I'm sure that whenever I heard the feeble output of throat noises that he called conversation, I was content to be a gargoyle with a silver tongue. Well, to San Christos.
Judson! Oh, Judson, there's an angel in San Christos.
Well, so long as it isn't Gabriel, why talk as if you'd heard a trumpet blow?
It's the Senorita Annabella Zamora, the Alcalde's daughter. I saw her this afternoon driving in the plaza.
You spend too much time in the plaza.
No, you don't spend enough. Judson, she's as lovely as the devil.
Bravo, my eloquent Fergus. You remind me of Faust's wooing of Marguerite. That is, if he wooed her after he went down the trapdoor.
Judson, listen. I'm completely gone on Senorita Annabella.
Oh, stirring words, Fergus.
Oh, do give over. Judson, you know you're as beautiless as a rhinoceros. That's why I'm telling you.
Telling me?
Judson, I want you to help me.
Help you to what?
Why, to land Senorita Annabella, of course. Oh, I admit my shortcomings on the talking side.
As well you may.
But, Judd, I've subsidized the services of the Senorita's duenna. She's called Francesca.
Well,
Well, Judson, you can talk. You've got a big reputation in that direction.
I have, and I deserve it.
And I am the best-looking man between the Arctic Circle and the Antarctic ice pack.
With limitations as to physiognomy and geography, I freely concede you.
Well, between the two of us, we ought to be able to land the Senorita Annabella Zamora.
Land her for which one of us?
What? Oh, me, of course. You've never seen her.
Explain your arrangements.
Judson, you know how it is with these old Spanish families. Well, she's...
Unapproachable as a star?
Yes, unapproachable as a star. Oh, Eureka, with your smooth tongue and my good looks combined in one man, how can she resist him? Can any girl want more?
And can she do with less? How can we separate our mutual attraction, and how shall we apportion the proceeds?
You mean you'll do it?
You little lily-white, fine-haired, highly polished piece of dumb sculpture. I will help you.
Why, Judson, you're a brick. A perfect brick.
All you have to do is tell me how.
Buena, Francesca.
All is arranged, senor. Bring your friend into the patio.
Right. Judson, keep your face hid. For heaven's sake, keep your face hid.
Confound it, this sombrero.
Judson, I'm a friend of yours, but this is a business deal. If I could talk, I wouldn't ask you.
Get me into the dark outside the lady's window, and my stream of conversation opened up with the moonlight tremolo stop turned on, and she is yours.
Francesca,
Senor?
you pointed me out to the Senorita Annabella in the plaza this afternoon.
Si, senor.
By name?
Si, senor. I say Senor Fergus McMahon.
Judson, keep the collar of your coat high and that sombrero low. And keep that face hid.
This way, senor.
I'll go to it. Seeing me and listening to you, I don't see why she can't be landed.
By you.
By me. Now go do it.
Senorita. My fair white shadow behind cruel bars. Senorita.
Someone calls?
It is I, Fergus McMahon, most abject, most idolatrous of slaves to the exquisite Senorita Annabella.
See, someone calls.
Goddess, Senorita. Ah, moon of my delight that knows no wane.
Softly, senor. My father the alcalde is within.
Would that my star, the loveliest of women, were without.
Senor, I should not listen, but I listen.
Ah, soft. What light through yonder window break? And then she threw me this.
A rose. Oh, a big red rose. Success. 1 hour of my talk and she gives me a rose.
1 hour of my talk.
Well, you forget. I'm the one she saw in the plaza.
I'd like to see you trying to make a hit with her in the dark. All your beauty invisible and not a word to say for yourself.
1 hour. 1 hour and she gives me a rose. Wait till I've been wooing her for a week.
One word, Senorita, before my heart breaks. 1 word of love.
Senor Fergus, I dare not.
Beloved.
I dare not. My father the alcalde.
Beloved, speak 1 word of love, 1 word of hope, and I shall dare all to make you mine. I shall dare.
See?
Your father the alcalde.
Senor.
Speak, incomparable one.
Senor, it is true
See.
that each afternoon in the plaza
Ah, see.
I watch for you, and I think
See.
that you are very pretty, senor.
The devil... that is... Say on, my divine one. Give me 1 word of hope that your heart is mine. Her heart is mine. Ours. She put her hand between the bars to kiss.
What did you do?
I kissed it.
You might have left that for me to do.
Well, that will be your job hereafter. Take my advice, keep on doing that, Fergus, and don't try to talk.
I won't.
Perhaps after she thinks she's in love, she won't notice the difference between real conversation and the inarticulate sort of droning you give out with.
Believe me, she won't even care. Well, thanks, Judson. Thanks awfully. Tomorrow...
Well?
Tomorrow I'll take things a step further in the plaza.
Well, I wish you luck.
I say, Judson, just for once, why don't you come along?
To the plaza?
Yes.
Well, you know how it is, Fergus. The children and dogs take the mangrove swamps when they see this face of mine.
They come out again, Judson. Besides, don't you want to see her?
After making love to her for 3 weeks, I admit I'm curious.
Come along then and see. Without being seen. Here she comes. Look, Judson, the one in white in the open carriage with the black horse.
That is Senorita Annabella.
Who else? See, I'll raise my hat. In San Christos, that's tantamount to a public declaration. Judson, did you see that sidelong glance she gave me? It's true, she loves me. She's mine. Well, and what did you think of her?
Of Senorita Annabella.
See, well, I mean, yes. What did you think of her?
I think she is to be Mrs. Judson Tate.
What? Well, you old dough-face. Struck too, are you? Yeah, well, you're too late. Of course, I'm awfully grateful to you for deputizing for me, but, you know, I've an idea. I could have done it just as well myself.
Mrs. Judson Tate. I don't do the dirty on a friend, so take your word.
Oh, Judson.
Mrs. Judson Tate, I said. Mrs. Judson Tate, I mean. You've had the use of my tongue to go with your good looks, my boy.
Well, I can't lend you my good looks.
No, but hereafter my tongue is my own. So remember, you have been warned. I stepped into the ballroom with a new white linen suit and a masterful air. Some of the musicians jumped off key when they saw my face, but I am used to that.
Oh, now you're far too
Senorita Annabella, whirling in white with pearls and fireflies in her midnight hair, nearly dropped her fan when she saw my face. But I am used to that. At the end of the room, Fergus tried to break away from 2 macaroons and a fat senorita, while I strode up to Alcade Zamora. Buenas noches, magnifico.
Buenas noches, senor.
I am Judson Tate.
To be sure I know of you, senor.
I have the honor to present the greetings of the great English nation to the great little town of San Christos, magnifico.
Senor, the town of San Christos returns the greetings of the great English nation with mucho thanks.
Senor Alcade, I hear much of the beauty of your daughter.
Si, my Annabella. Beautiful.
It would give me great pleasure to be presented to her.
It would give me great pleasure to present my daughter to the representative of the great English nation.
My thanks, Senor Alcade.
Mucho thanks, Senor English. Annabella! Chica! Annabella!
You call, Papa? Oh.
Annabella, you see a mouse?
No, Papa, I see. Oh, forgive me, Papa.
Annabella, I am presenting to you the most great and distinguished Senor Tate.
I am honored, Senor.
I am ravished, Senorita.
Annabella, what is ailing you this night, Chiquita?
Forgive me, Papa, but I thought... that voice... Oh,
The voice, Annabella?
forgive me, Papa, I am so confused.
I am thinking you are looking confused, Chiquita. When you danced before with the Senor Fergus McMahon.
Oh, Papa, I am feeling confused when I dance with the Senor Fergus. His voice...
Si, Senorita.
Forgive me, Senor, I am very confused.
Magnifico. Senor Alcade, may I have the honor of dancing with the Senorita Annabella?
Of course. If you wish it, Chiquita.
Senor Fergus has already...
Mucho thanks, Senorita Annabella. Shall we dance? On we danced, while her night-black eyes grew bigger than alligator pears. She couldn't strike a balance between the tones of my voice and the face I carried. But I kept on talking in the key of C, which is the lady's key.
The key?
I set my voice to poetry, art, romance, flowers, and moonlight. I repeated some of the verses I had murmured to her in the dark at her window, and I knew from the soft sparkle in her eyes that she knew me for her midnight wooer. Before the dance was over, I had permission to come to her window in the patio the next evening and talk some more. Oh, it was easy enough.
You mean... I don't believe you.
Ah, Fergus. The vocal is the true art, no doubt about it. Handsome is as handsome palavers.
Well, talk might be all right in its place, Judd, but to expect to back it up a face like yours in a lady's good graces is like... Well, it's like,
Well,
Well, like expecting a man to make a square meal on the ringing of a dinner bell.
I tell you, she is going to marry me.
Oh, you hope.
I know it. And the alcalde is all for it. I am being allowed to call.
To call?
I am an official suitor.
What?
Less romantic than midnight in the patio, but more...
Caught a cold?
Oh, nothing to speak of. I tell you, she looks at my rugged features now without fear or repugnance.
She does.
All she wants is to have me tell her that she is a trust, monopolizing all the loveliness on earth, that she is a gazelle, a tea rose, that her eyes are softer and brighter than 2 quarts of cream skimmed off the Milky Way, that...
Gesundheit.
Thank you.
Judson, I'm not the kind to do the dirty on a friend. My friend. So I'm warning you. I've just begun to fight.
Senor, you have come to court, see? Calm. My daughter, she is waiting with her duenna. Go in. Go so tight.
Thank you.
Go in. My daughter is waiting, see?
Good evening, senor.
Oh, good evening, senorita.
Please, you will sit, see?
See. Ah, divine one, incomparable one. You are trust, monopolizing all loveliness.
See? See?
Oh!
Senor! What has happened to your so wonderful voice, senor? Francesca! The senor has lost his so wonderful voice.
Senor, wake up. It is I, the alcalde. Senor, rise from your sickbed. They have run away. My Annabella and the Senor Fergus MacMahon. It is known they have fled in a sailing yacht and are bound for El Paso. How long ago? Oh, almost certainly some 7 hours, senor. Senor, you will follow them. I was sure I could count on the representative of the great English people. Senor, you will pursue them in the Loncho, which belongs to the Department of Revenue. I, the alcalde, have arranged it. You will persuade my daughter to return with you, see? See, the voice. I go. I will return, senor. Be upstanding. Dress yourself. I will return. Here, senor. The medicament. Take 1 small swiggo every 2 hours. What is it? Oh, senor. In this small bottle is a simple liquid made from the rare chuchula plant. Come, drink. Drink? Bueno. Every 2 hours. Now, go, senor, and may good fortune go with you.
So I steamed into El Paso port 13 seconds behind the yacht on which Fergus and my Annabella were fleeing.
Well, you made good time.
They started for the shore in a dory just as my skiff was lowered over the side. I tried. How I tried to order my sailormen to row faster, but the sounds died in my larynx before they came to the light.
Oh, yes, quite a predicament.
Then I thought of the Alcade's medicine, got out the little bottle, and took a swiggo. The 2 boats landed. Almost at the same moment, I leapt out. I ran towards my beloved, and I saw her shrink away into the arms of the godlike Fergus.
Fergus! Oh, Fergus, save me!
I'll do that, my love. Now look, Judd, all's fair, etc. I told you I'd win, and I've won, fair and square. Annabella is mine.
Oh, not yet. Not yet.
Senorita Annabella, may I speak with you aside for a moment?
Oh, give up, Judd, will you?
Annabella, my bulbul, my gazelle, my tea rose, my moon of all delight.
Give over.
A moment is all I ask, Annabella. 1 moment in annihilation's wake, 1 moment of the well of life to take.
Judd!
Annabella.
Fergus, you will excuse me just for 1 moment, see?
No.
See. Come aside, Annabella.
See.
Oh, now look, Judd. Fair's fair.
Annabella, fairest of flowers,
Oh, Judson.
queen among women, star of stars.
Oh, when you are talking to me, I can hear nothing else. I can see nothing else. There is nothing and nobody else in all the world.
Come back to San Cristo.
See.
Become Mrs. Judson Tate, and hear my words of love forever.
See.
And you married Senorita Annabella?
Of course. Has my story bored you?
Oh, indeed, no. I'm always interested in psychological studies. A human heart, especially woman's, is a wonderful thing to contemplate.
It is. And so are the trachea and bronchial tubes of man. Did you ever make a study of the windpipe?
Never. May I ask after the present health of Mrs. Tate?
She is blooming. I don't suppose you ever dissected the arytenoid cartilages of the epiglottis, did you?
Right, no, I'm no surgeon. What happened to Fergus?
I've no idea. I never saw him again. Are you aware that a sudden cold may set up capillary bronchitis or inflammation of the pulmonary vesicles, which may result in a serious affection of the vocal organs?
Well, if so, that is neither here nor there. Speaking of the strange manifestations of the affections of women, I myself...
Yes, they do have peculiar ways, but as I was going to tell you, when I went back to San Christos, I investigated the mixture which gave me back my lost voice. You'll recall how quickly it cured me.
Yes?
Now look here. For any cough or cold or hoarseness or bronchial infection whatsoever, I have here the greatest remedy in the world. You see the formula printed here on the box, including fluid extract of tachula, a 1/10 milim.
Yes.
I am in London for the purpose of organizing a company to market the greatest remedy for throat affections ever discovered.
Good day, Mr. Tate.
My dear sir, I assure you that I am bestowing on you the opportunity of a lifetime.
Good day, Mr. Tate.
To participate in the marketing of Tate's compound magic tachula bronchial lozenges.
Mr. Tate.
I have here a box of 1,000.
What more is there to say? My feelings were lacerated. The ugly man had poured gently upon me a story which had stirred me. And at the last it had proved to be a commercial pill deftly coated with the sugar of fiction. You must judge for yourself. And, anyone care to buy 18 dozen of Tate's compound magic tachula bronchial lozenges? Cut rate?
The world of O.Henry was a fascinating forum in which the poor and the wealthy, the sad and the gay rubbed shoulders in the most diverting fashion. Each had a story to tell. This was one of them, brought to you in the O.Henry Playhouse. This was an Artransa production, dramatized by Kay Keavney and produced by Jim Bradley.